If your sales are slow on Amazon, then I'm here to bring you 8 reasons why. But first, if you're new, I'm Cassandra, and here on Profit Guru, I love to come each and every week to share with you guys what I'm doing in my Amazon business and what I'm learning so that you too can become a successful Amazon seller. There are a wide variety of reasons why your sales might be considerably slow on Amazon. So let's run through the top 8 reasons together so that you can flip the script and start increasing your sales volume. Number 1, you might be choosing products that have a poor BSR. Every product on Amazon has a BSR known as the bestsellers rank number that is associated to that product. And the way that you can find that is by scrolling all the way down right here to the product details. Now you might notice that for the bestsellers rank, there might be more than one number there. And that's because you have the main root category, and then underneath that, there are also subcategories. So the main root category, the parent category, that's the one you want to look at. And this one is in grocery and gourmet foods. So this specific cereal, its bestsellers rank is 253,443. So if you're not familiar with what's a good rank in each different category, then you might get slipped up by this. But I do have a cheat sheet that will really help you out. This you can download completely free on my Gumroad. It is right down in the description. And this is really going to help you to determine what is a good BSR in each category, because the categories vary in size. So a really large category can have a pretty high BSR and still be a good selling product. So that cereal was in grocery and gourmet food, and its BSR was 253,000. So that means it's somewhere in between these two numbers. And if I look up, that means it's in like the top 8%, and that is not very good. In order to have your products really selling through quickly, you're going to want to stay within the top 1%, sometimes maybe up to the top 2%. But once you start pushing up here, top 3, 5, 10%, these are going to be very slow moving products. So if you want your products to be selling quickly, check the category, and then before you jump onto that listing, make sure that its rank is a strong rank, preferably within the top 1%. Number 2, you might be pricing your items at a price that is not competitive enough to win the buy box. So let's look at the shampoo. For this listing, the buy box is sitting at $17.89. Now, looking right here, I can see that there are 18 offers on this listing. And right here, $17.89, that's where the buy box is. So this is why you want to be within 2% of the buy box if you want to be super competitive to be getting that buy box rotated to you. Now, all of these sellers here are within it, and let me show you the buy box statistics. Now, we can see there are 9 other sellers because there's 18 offers on this, and these offers go all the way up to $28. But the data right here on buy box statistics for the last month, this is who's won the sales. 64% of the time, the seller that was priced at $17.62, they were winning the sales. All of these sellers that won the sales within the past month are within 2% of that buy box price. So any of those sellers that are listing their products at $18 and above, the buy box is not rotating to them. They are not priced competitively enough to win it. So make sure when you're listing your products, try and list them, if they're profitable for you, within 2% of what the buy box is at. Number 3, you might be choosing products that are selling really well, but not considering the fact that there is way too much competition. This foundation has an extremely strong BSR. In the root category of beauty and personal care, it is number 311. And in the subcategory of facial creams, it's number 2. So that is a super strong rank. That means that these are selling a lot. But if you look right below me, you can see that there are 46 offers on this listing. And if I load more, these offers range from $39 being the highest offer all the way to $22.92. And right down here, I am looking at the very bottom chart, that blue line. Those are the offer counts. So back in December 3rd, we had 18 offers, and that's just going up and up and up. People are seeing that this is a really good product, the BSR is strong, and they're jumping onto it. But the problem is there are too many people jumping onto it. So now January 2nd, the offer count's at 32, and it's just going up higher and higher. It's currently sitting around that 49 mark. So 49 sellers that are all competing on this listing. And then this top chart here, we can see the sales rank and how it is getting even stronger. But the pink, which is the buy box, is now going down. That's typically what happens when there's a lot of competition. You're not getting sales. And so what do sellers like to do? They like to lower their price. So back here in November, this was selling for $32.99. That's where the buy box was. And now it is only at $23.23. So it has significantly jumped down in just a few months. So by jumping on this listing, you can't really count on what price it's going to sell at, because for a while it was selling in that $30 mark, but now because of all the competition and they're lowering that price, the buy box is sitting super low. And in order to be competitive to win the buy box, you need to be within 2% of where the buy box is at. So now all of these sellers who were maybe getting sales back a few months ago by listing it at this $30 price, they are not going to get sales at this price anymore. And they probably need to keep it at that price in order to be profitable. So now they're kind of at a standstill. Do they lower their price? If so, they're going to probably take a loss on this product. Or do they just stand firm and try and hope for people to sell out? But the problem here is these competitors have a lot of stock. So this person, they're priced at $22.93, super low. They're going to be winning that buy box, and they have 445 of them. This one has 53, the seller has 71. So it's not like this price is going to sell out pretty quick and come back up to that $30 mark. It's probably going to stay right around here on the 20s. The other problem on this listing with competition is also the variations. Now, how do you know which color to get? Well, it's actually quite easy. We are going to come down here to the variations tab on our Keepa, and then we want to see the ratings filtered from high to low, because ratings indicate sales. The more ratings that it has, the more sales it's had. So the variation here that we would want to be going for right here, 22% of the sales is going to that shade medium that we were initially looking at. And we can also see here where the buy box are sitting at for the other variations. So just because something has a super strong rank, if there's too much competition on there, that is not good for your sales, especially because what typically happens is that buy box is going to go lower and lower and lower. So I personally avoid listings like this. Number 4, are you repricing your inventory? This is a big one, and whether you're doing it with software or you're manually repricing, you have to be repricing your items. You can't just list them at a price and have them sit there, do nothing to that price, and expect them to sell really well. Automation will typically get you the buy box wins more often than doing it manually yourself. And that's because with automation, it's going to keep a better track on each of your listings and what's happening with the buy box in real time faster than you can do it. So in order to really be getting sales, you know that buy boxes are going to be fluctuating. They're going up and down. And for you to be competitive to win the buy box, you want to stay within 2%. But the problem is once you have a ton of ASINs, maybe you have a couple hundred ASINs, it's going to take a lot of time to stay on top of checking these things daily and readjusting your prices when necessary. So that's when something like GoAura can really help you out with winning the buy box. Typically what you do with any of these repricers, I'm not saying this is the best one, this is just an example of one, but what you do is you input your parameters and your rules, and it will check your inventory. It links right to your Seller Central account, and it keeps tabs of every time the buy box is shifting, and then will adjust your price according to the different rules that you told it. So this really actually frees a lot of your time, because then you can spend time doing more sourcing than going in and having to reprice your inventory all the time. Number 5, you might be jumping onto a listing that does sell really great, but that buy box might not get shared equally. So here we have a Neutrogena product, and this is great for reselling. It's a brand that you could probably get ungated in relatively easily, and it sells really well. This is in the top 1% in its category, and this does currently have 13 offers here, but only 5 of them are FBA. So typically we know that those are like our main competitors, so maybe there's some room to squeeze in because this is in the top 1%. So what I would do next is go down and look at my Keepa, and this can definitely be a red flag. Notice all of this light orange color that's filling this entire first graph. That's Amazon. So I can see that Amazon likes this listing, and they don't seem to jump off of this listing, which that's not saying that you can't come onto it. You can very well get sales on listings that Amazon's on, but not all of them. Sometimes Amazon is really greedy on their listings. So before you jump onto a product, do you check and make sure that the buy box gets shared? Because if you're not, you're probably setting yourself up to have little sales or maybe even no sales at all. So if we go here to data and then the buy box statistics, in the past 30 days, 99% of the sales has gone to Amazon. Even the seller underneath them, Active Trade, their price is lower than Amazon's price, and they have still won less than 1% of the time. So if you jump onto a listing that Amazon's on and you think to yourself, I'm just going to make my price lower than theirs, that way I'll win the sales. That's not how it works. You can see here that even though they are lower, and actually the other two sellers are significantly lower as well, Amazon is still not sharing the buy box to them, and they are taking almost 100% of the sales. So always check and make sure that that buy box is rotating and that there's room for you to come in and get some sales. Number 6, the listing that you're on might not currently even have a buy box. That buy box might be suppressed. So if you've ever been perusing Amazon, maybe as a consumer, maybe for business, you might notice that products have the price underneath them typically. Well, sometimes there's no price. So if we look right here, there is not a single price underneath this product. It just says the name and the details. That right there is how you know that the buy box is suppressed. Suppressed basically means that it's been taken away, it's hidden, it's no longer there for somebody to just click and add to cart. And the buy box can be suppressed for a wide variety of reasons. The price might have been jumped up way too high. Amazon doesn't like that. If a product typically goes for like $10 and now all those $10 offers are gone and the price has been spiked up to like $30, that could get it suppressed. Maybe there is some information missing from this listing that could get it suppressed. But this is the reason why I don't like suppressed personally. If I was coming on here as a consumer trying to buy this laundry detergent, how would I buy it? Usually you go here and you click add to cart. I don't see that anywhere. So most consumers, they're not going to spend their time searching this page and looking around and figuring out what the heck's going on. How can I purchase this? They're going to go back and they're going to pick a different one that's easier to purchase. Now, I know a lot of people who don't mind if the buy box is suppressed and they'll jump on and they'll still make some sales. But thinking about it from the consumer's point of view, I know that I'm not going to get as many sales as I possibly could if there were to be a buy box, because the consumer is really going to have to take a deep dive and see around and realize, oh, okay, this looks different, but right here I can click and see all the buying options. Now from here, all of the buying options will come up. So even if the consumer does go that far to find where all the buying options are, here is the second bad thing about a suppressed buy box. Once they see all of the offers, which one do you think they're going to choose? Obviously, they're going to choose the ones that is the lowest. Now, a lot of people who just buy from Amazon, they don't realize that there's possibly lower prices. They just see what the buy box is and they add to cart. When in reality, there's a really good chance that there are offers that are lower. And when you have to do it this way and you get to see all of the offers, the consumer is going to go through and clearly choose the one that's the lowest price. So if you don't have yours at the very lowest price, even if they're able to find your offer, they will not choose it unless it's the lowest. So that's why I personally don't really like suppressed buy boxes and why they could be making your sales really slow. The number 7 reason why you might be having slow sales is how's your account health? If you are having a lot of negative hits on your account health, Amazon is going to be less likely to give you the buy box. If your ratings aren't good, if your defect rate is high, if you're getting a lot of returns and complaints, you are less likely to be getting that buy box. So make sure to increase your health. Don't be taking these hits and keep your account health in really good standing. And the 8th reason why you might not have very high sales is because of proximity. Now, if you are located way over in California and somebody maybe in Vermont is ordering a product and you're on that listing, chances are if you're selling it out of your house or using a prep center that is way over on the other side of the state, you're not going to get that sale because Amazon wants the products to get to the customer as fast as possible. So if proximity, if you're not close to that customer, your product is not going to get chosen. You won't get the buy box. So to sum this all up, Basically, Amazon is going to give the buy box to the seller that has their products closest to the customer that's ordering it so that the customer can get it the fastest. And one way that you might be able to combat this is by choosing a prep center that has an Amazon warehouse in a really congested or populated area, or maybe like a big city where you know there's going to be a lot of people making purchases. So there it is, my roundup of the 8 reasons why, if your sales are not good on Amazon, one of these or a variety of these reasons is probably why. So go back and fix it. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I hope that you have an amazing 2023 sales on Amazon and that it is your best year yet. Or if you're a new seller, I hope you are able to jump in and start seeing success right out of the gate. I'm here for you guys, and I want to help to support you on your journey. So any questions you ever have, feel free to drop them right down below, and I will make sure to personally answer you back. That's it for this week. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.